Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by towering mountains, there lived a 24-year-old young man named Marco. From the outside, he looked like any other hardworking villager. But inside, his mind was a battlefield that never grew quiet. Every morning, he woke up carrying the weight of yesterday's mistakes, and every night, he lay awake worrying about tomorrow. His thoughts never stopped. Regret followed him through the day, fear haunted him through the night, and peace felt like something that belonged to everyone except him. He had forgotten what it felt like to truly smile. One day, while speaking with an old traveler, Marco heard about a wise man who lived in a quiet village hidden deep within the hills. The traveler explained that the old man had once been a highly respected psychologist in a great city, where he had helped thousands of people overcome anxiety, fear, and emotional pain. In his later years, he had chosen to leave behind the noise of the city and spend the rest of his life surrounded by nature, offering guidance only to those who sincerely sought it. For the first time in a long while, Marco felt a spark of hope. Perhaps this was the person who could finally help him find the peace he had been searching for. The next morning, before sunrise, Marco began the long journey through winding mountain paths. Hours passed beneath the warm sun until he finally reached the peaceful little village. Birds sang softly in the trees, flowers bloomed along the narrow paths, and a gentle breeze carried the scent of fresh grass. At the edge of the village stood a small cottage covered in climbing vines and colorful flowers. Sitting quietly on the wooden porch was the old man. His eyes were closed, his breathing calm, and his face carried a peaceful smile that Marco had never seen on anyone before. Marco slowly approached and respectfully said, "Grandfather, my mind never stops thinking. I regret my past, I fear my future, and I can no longer find peace. I've tried distracting myself, I've tried working harder, and I've tried ignoring my thoughts, but nothing has helped. Please, can you teach me how to quiet my mind?" The old man opened his eyes and looked at Marco with kindness. After a brief silence, he smiled gently. "So, you are searching for peace?" Marco nodded. "Then come with me. I have a small task for you." The old man led him into the yard, picked up a clear glass, and slowly filled it with water until it reached the very brim. The surface trembled so delicately that even the slightest movement could cause it to spill. He carefully placed the glass into Marco's hands. "I want you to walk from here to the far end of the village and then return," the old man said calmly. "But there is one condition. You must not spill even a single drop of water." Marco looked at the overflowing glass in surprise. It seemed like an unusual lesson, but he trusted the old man and accepted the challenge. Holding the glass firmly with both hands, he began walking. The narrow village road was full of life. Children laughed as they chased one another through the streets. Shopkeepers called out cheerfully to passing customers. Dogs barked in the distance while birds flew overhead. Fresh bread baked in nearby ovens filled the air with its comforting aroma. Villagers greeted one another with warm smiles as they passed. But Marco noticed none of it. His eyes never left the trembling surface of the water. Every step was slow. Every movement was careful. His entire world had become that single glass. After some time, Marco finally returned to the cottage. A smile appeared on his face as he proudly handed the glass back. "Grandfather," he said with relief, "I did it. I didn't spill a single drop." The old man smiled. "Very good." Then he asked quietly, "Tell me, did you see the children playing along the road?" Marco shook his head. "No." "Did you hear the birds singing, or the shopkeepers calling their customers?" Again, Marco answered, "No, grandfather." The old man smiled warmly. "Do you know why?" Marco remained silent. "Because your attention was completely focused on one thing." He paused before continuing. "For that entire journey, your mind had no room for regret. It had no room for fear. It wasn't replaying yesterday, and it wasn't worrying about tomorrow. It was fully present with the task before you." Marco listened carefully. "The peace you have been searching for was never far away," the old man continued. It has always lived within your own mind. Your thoughts are like restless waves, but your attention is the anchor. Wherever you choose to place it, your mind will follow. When you learn to live in the present moment, the noise slowly fades, and peace quietly takes its place. Marco lowered his eyes as every word settled deep within his heart. For years, he had believed that peace was something he needed to find somewhere else. But now he realized that it had been inside him all along. He had simply been looking in the wrong direction. With deep gratitude, he bowed his head and softly said, "Thank you, grandfather. Today you've shown me that peace doesn't come from changing the past or controlling the future. It comes from living fully in this very moment." The old man smiled, saying nothing more. As the sun slowly disappeared behind the mountains, painting the sky with shades of gold and orange, Marco began his journey back home. He walked along the very same road he had traveled earlier that day. But this time, everything felt different. He noticed the birds singing. He felt the cool evening breeze against his face. He watched children laughing together. He admired the golden light shining across the fields. The road had not changed. The village had not changed. Only Marco had. For the first time in many years, the storm inside his mind had become quiet. And with that quietness came something he had been searching for all his life. Peace. If this story brought a little peace to your heart today, please give this video a like and share it with someone who may need this message. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories and meaningful life lessons. Thank you for watching. Take care, stay present, and we'll see you in the next story.